Doesn't even make sense. Standardized graphs. Which is not cost effective. Cost efficient, sorry. Get Chris out of the room closet. What is he doing in there? Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Who moved my desk?
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Oh, sorry about that, Sorka. I love this narrator already. What does this graph say? I can't exactly jump. I can't read it. Whatever, what does this say? No. Oh, it's a PowerPoint. Nice. Exclaimer, these are not rules to live by. I'm just gonna laugh at like every little thing because it's all so funny to me. It's all a parody of stuff, like typical work meetings. Stop. Why did we hire you? Right now you're both of them. Okay, what does this say? I can't read that sticky note. Monetize free to play. Help, I'm a post-it. Stripes require more secondary research. Things, yes, people will always want things, because things are the most important. What does it say underneath things? Happy something. But Mike James was fired because of it. Things, but with money to buy more things. And graphs about things and money, of course. That's the new product. God, it's so hard to control. Firing of me. Ideas bin instead of a recycle bin. That's funny. Okay. We need less reviews. Water cooler heaters, yeah, because that's necessary. Some sort of child trap? Oh my gosh. Sorry. My headset's hurting my ears. Okay, we're gonna move on now. Sorry, there was a lot to look at in that room. Oh, look, it's a broom closet. Isn't that one guy supposed to be in here? I guess they got him out. Somehow.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
It's just so good that it's a British accent. Like,
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
another choice. Do we go upstairs or do we go downstairs and explore? Aha. I figured out how to make my headphones not hurt as much. Upstairs or downstairs? I kind of want to explore, but I also kind of think it might be futile, like there's nothing down there. Then again, there could be something funny down there, so... You know what, we're gonna go down. Ooh, it's red. Okay, red light. And a box. What's in here? Oh, it's a card.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Then what?
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
It's hilarious.
Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear me?
What the hell is going on?
And everything went black.
Best ending ever.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled down talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What just happened? This game, it asks all the important questions. That was definitely awesome. Shortest game ever, woo! Just kidding, that wasn't the shortest game ever, but where am I now? I have to start the whole game all over again, that's lame. Or
when
not.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, we're just gonna go left, because that's what we did.
Yet
That was
there
awesome.
was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
I wonder if
disbelief,
that's always
Stanley
gonna be
decided
the
to go
outcome
up to his
to
boss's office.
not-
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
to
office.
not obeying the narrator. This is posh. Executive bathroom. Oh, come on. I wanted to see what it looked like. This is very posh for a businessy boss.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss
There's
had
a
been
picture of a
keeping
cat.
from him. And so the
Cat.
boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course,
How would you know
Stanley
that?
couldn't possibly have known this.
2845. How did you know that? I'm so confused. No, game. No. Come on, no. No. Please.
Stanley just sat twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I don't do it.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Yes, luck.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh. I was like, what passageway? Okay. Okay then. It's a warehouse, I guess. Why is there a light? Like, what's the point of the light? Let's go down. The only way to go is down. Loading screen that won't respawn. Yeah. Loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he
So he
feel
has a
this
soul.
now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. I like answers, and I don't like lights turning off.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Aha. Escape! Oh no! Oh no! Do we escape the mind control facility, or do we go for it? I would be inclined to always do the wrong answer first, just to see what happens, and then do the right answer afterwards. That way, as long as it resets you to the right position, you always get every little piece of content. Mind control facility or escape? Yeah, we're just gonna escape. Why not? I mean, it
Although
doesn't
this
look very
passageway had the
inviting.
word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Bring it. Challenge accepted.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Well, the hall just keeps going.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah, I am. Why not confront your death if you know that you'll respawn back before you chose to die? Or okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
This reminds me of Portal.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Why the change in narrators? This is hilarious! Oh my gosh, I love this game. I really shouldn't find this so funny, but...
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Narrating the narration of a different narrator. This is great. This is the best reset screen.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Stanley's computer. No, it's like a little museum. That's hilarious. Oh, this is cool. I wish I could zoom in. I just don't know how. And stop it. Okay. Okay. Cool, yo. This is very fascinating. Yeah. That seems like what this game is. Filing cabinets. You don't say. No, really? Oh, hey, look, Solitaire. Solitaire. Oh, I turned it off. Oh, whoopsie. Can't tell what that says, but bye-bye. Oh, I can turn it back on? How? I don't understand where I'm clicking. Okay, let's look at some other stuff. Okay, you can't get there. The office. 3 doors. Sounds cool. The credits. I don't know. It seems like there should be some grand music for the grand credits on this wall. Oh, great. Which way do I go? I'll go this way. The maintenance room. If someone could give us this text, then maybe I could see what this game is about. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. I didn't know there was an HD remix. Or it's to win, I don't know. There are screenshots of the HD remix. Oh, what's over here? far too jokey and on the nose? What are you talking about? That sounds like fun. Awesome alien base. That sounds like fun. I want to do that. That looks like Tron. No, I didn't read this. Well, good thing it got through Greenlight, because that's the way I'm playing it, through Steam. Otherwise I'd never be able to play it. Obviously. Oh, a selection of emails. And I can barely read. I can't read it! Ah! No. No. Okay. Dang it. I don't think any of those would have helped. Oh well, I can't read that. It's too bright. Lame. Okay. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't be reading this, because it seems like a lot of spoilers. But I'm just too interested. There's so many rooms! Oh my god! That's a nice way to label the choices. What's a Zending? Okay. This is all very intricate. Yeah, no kidding, that would be super frustrating. Hello? Okay. Okay. This is all very spoilery, but I don't care. I want to know. I want to see everything.